Today on the CTV News at 5. The Blood Tribe's newest band council is sworn in. Plus, a Lethbridge Sobeys owner once again camps out on top of the store to support local food banks. And the palace confirms Kate is pregnant. Why she's already in hospital.
CTV News with Jackie Scantlebury.
Good afternoon. Alberta Premier Alison Redford has been cleared of lying to the legislature in her role in the tobacco lawsuit scandal.
Evident that there was no final decision made as to the selection of a law firm for the tobacco litigation when the Premier was Minister of Justice.
Speaker of the House, Jean Swasdesky, says Redford was not misleading the legislature last week when she said she didn't make the final decision to award a $10 billion tobacco lawsuit to her ex-husband's law firm. While documents show Robert Hawke's firm was Redford's choice during her term as Justice Minister, Swasdesky says the deal wasn't finalized until after she left office. Though he admits it's come down to a question of semantics. Opposition leaders had sought to have Redford held in contempt for lying to the ledge. The Liberals and NDP have already said the evidence against her is so overwhelming she needs to step down pending an independent review. Redford has refused, saying instead the allegations mount to a witch hunt. Economic reform and unity were the buzzwords on the Blood Reserve today as the tribe swore in its newly elected chief and council. Only the chief and 3 incumbents were returned to office in last week's election. But Chief Charles Weaselhead says he's looking forward to working with a group of well-educated young men and women who he says will bring a mix of enthusiasm and new ideas to band council. Terry Boat reports.
The new Blood Tribe Council includes 9 new faces and only 3 incumbents. But that doesn't seem to be an issue for returning Chief Charles Weaselhead, who says he's honored to be getting a new 4-year mandate from the voters.
I think the energy is there and the excitement is there. You know, I'm quite excited about working with a young group, and we have some experienced people as well too, and we have 2 women on council too.
Chief Weaselhead says the new council brings together a variety of views and perspectives, and the challenge will be to work together.
But in all things, I will conduct myself.
That doesn't seem to be a concern for some of the new members of council. They say there's a good mix of experience and youth that gives reason for optimism.
All of the elders in the community were praying for unity, not a splitting council, and I think that's what they have this term.
I'm absolutely ecstatic. You know, I'm, just like you mentioned, I'm one of the younger guys that are in there, and just have a lot of ideas and a lot of enthusiasm.
And it's not just the band councillors who seem to be feeling it.
I think it needed change, and I think the people knew it needed change.
Many band residents say more young people got involved in this campaign and turned out to vote last week. They say it showed in the results.
There's a lot of new young people that are voted in, and I'm happy for them. And I think we're going to have a good councillor this year.
And I think the people made a right decision with this council, and the change hopefully will happen with our people for the better.
Chief Weaselhead says they can't fix all the problems overnight, but he believes the new council has a strong mandate to continue working on priorities like housing, economic development, and education. The new chief and council won't be wasting any time getting down to business. Their first meeting is Tuesday. Terry Boat, CTV News on the Blood Reserve.
Now, the woman who lost a seat on council through a coin toss says she plans to appeal. Kyla Crow was among those attending today's swearing-in ceremony. Crow says she's proud of the new council and thinks they'll do a very good job for the Blood people. But Crow says the process needs to be changed so future elections aren't decided in the same way. Crow finished tied for 12th spot, but instead of casting a tie-breaking vote, the returning officer chose to use a coin toss to select the winning candidate. Crow says it was a tough way to lose.
Yeah, I'd have to say, it was unfair, and that's why I'm appealing just regards to the procedure. And I guess as I see myself as a leader for our people, and that I just wish this would not happen in the next election, and that's why I'm talking about the procedure of it. That policy needs to be changed.
Crow says she plans to file the appeal Wednesday after preparing her arguments. She's hoping the appeals committee will rule in favor of holding a by-election to determine the final position on council. Meanwhile, a protest will be... Okay, Dory Rossiter, we've got some above average temperatures for the next several days.
Yeah, we do. We've got wind on the coast, and that is the reason why the above average temperatures are going to be landing in southern Alberta. We've got an area of high pressure that's trying to establish itself. We'll get a fair amount of sunshine in the mix as well. I'll have all the details in a couple of minutes.
Sounds good. Thank you, Dory. Backcountry trips to several BC mountain ranges are not recommended right now because of avalanche warnings. The Canadian Avalanche Centre says the avalanche risk is high in both the Kootenay Pass and South Columbia areas where several slides have been reported. For the most up-to-date conditions, you can check out the Canadian Avalanche Centre's website. Meanwhile, RCMP say that bad road conditions from freezing rain were a factor in a crash near 7 persons that saw one woman airlifted to hospital yesterday. The accident happened early Sunday afternoon west of 7 persons on Highway 3. Witnesses say a car and truck collided after one of the drivers tried to avoid another motorist who'd lost control of their vehicle. The driver of the car was airlifted to Medicine Hat Hospital by Halo, while the people in the truck were taken to Bow Island Medical Clinic. It's been almost a year since a horrific murder-suicide near Claresholm took the lives of 4 people. Now a memorial is being held to remember the victims. December 14th, 2011, Tabitha Steppel, along with friends Mitch McLean, Tanner Craswell, and Shayna Conway, were driving to Calgary when Steppel's SUV was rammed from behind by her ex-boyfriend's vehicle. Derek Jensen shot and killed Steppel and baseball stars Mitch McLean and Tanner Craswell before turning the gun on himself. Shayna Conway survived the attack. A Craswell-McLean Steppel Memorial will be held Saturday, December the 15th to honor the victims. It will be held at Lloyd Nolan Yard from 3 until 5 p.m. Dress is semi-formal and memorial fund donations will be accepted. A Medicine Hat woman has been charged in an apartment building explosion, and more charges are pending in the case. Last Tuesday, fire crews were called to this Medicine Hat complex after what we're now told was a chemical explosion as a result of a cannabis drug lab. 29-year-old Candace Wall faces charges including arson and production of a controlled substance. Charges against a second person who suffered serious burns in the blast are still pending. And a 37-year-old Medicine Hat man is facing a number of drug-related charges after a police search turned up nearly 3 kilograms of pot. Officers executed a warrant on a home November 29th at the man's home. Total street value of the drugs more than $18,000. Jay Schindel is scheduled to make his first court appearance December the 18th. Well, he is now perched high above his Sobeys South store yet again in support of Lethbridge food banks. Dallas Hardy was up on the roof at 8 a.m. Temperatures are supposed to be nice all week, but as we've seen in past years, when Hardy gets on his roof, the forecast tends to change for the worse. He'll be camped out here until customers purchase 2,000 hampers for local food banks. This is the 13th straight year of the Hampers for Hope campaign. Hardy is hoping to be coming off his shortest stay in the rooftop in record time. Last year's history was just 39 hours. He says he hopes the community continues to be generous.
I never hang my hat on anything. I know the weather forecast looks okay, but you just never know. And I mean, it'll be what it'll be, and I'm up here through rain, snow, wind, whatever. We're here to raise the money, and I'll stay up here till we do.
Hampers can be purchased at either Sobeys location. Donations can also be made to the Interfaith Food Bank directly. Another fundraiser to tell you about, this one aimed to benefit children in need this Christmas.
Ho, 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 Merry Christmas!
Toy Mountain has taken shape at Centre Village Mall. This is the 6th year that Rock 106 has hosted their toy drive. They're collecting new unwrapped toys for boys and girls under 17. All donated toys will be distributed through the joint efforts of the Salvation Army, Lethbridge Food Bank, and the Interfaith Food Bank. Santa was even on hand to hear a few Christmas wishes and hand out some treats.
My favorite part about this whole thing is when I see families bring in kids. And when they bring in to teach their kids about the gift, of making sure you pass on and give to others. I think that's really what makes it the best.
Toys can be dropped off during regular mall hours until December the 17th. Operation Red Nose had their busiest opening weekend in history. 90 volunteers provided 170 rides in the first 2 nights of operation. That's up 13% from last year. All of the proceeds go towards funding U of L Pronghorn athletic scholarships. Officials say they were expecting the increase and prepared for it. Congratulations are pouring in for Prince William and his wife, Kate. The royal couple confirmed today they are expecting their first child. While it had been rumored for some time, the couple was forced to confirm it today when Kate was hospitalized for severe morning sickness. Michelle Kozinski reports from London.
Well, this is the big announcement, the news British citizens and royal watchers have waited for since Prince William and Catherine married a year and a half ago. Today comes the official word from the palace that the Duchess of Cambridge is expecting her first child, a royal baby on the way.
On behalf of everyone here in the White House, beginning with the President and the First Lady, we extend our congratulations to the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge on the welcome news this morning out of London that they are expecting their first child.
They're not giving away too many other details, and few are known at this point. They say that the pregnancy is in its very early stages within the first trimester. And unfortunately, we get this word amid difficult circumstances for the Duchess. We know, according to the palace, that she's experiencing severe morning sickness, much, much worse than what's considered within the normal range. It's described as a relentless feeling of sickness, and this is serious because it could lead to malnutrition or a host of other serious complications. As a result, Catherine has had to enter the hospital. The palace says she'll be there for several days. Prince William is by her side. And already, congratulations are pouring their way.
It's absolutely wonderful news, and I'm delighted for them. I'm sure they'll make absolutely brilliant parents, and I'm sure everyone around the country will be celebrating with them tonight.
Even the Prime Minister here in Britain tweeted his congratulations and said that they will be wonderful parents. Back to you.
Now, under the new rules, the royal baby, whether it be a boy or a girl, will be third in line to the throne. And already the English bookies are taking bets on baby names. Elizabeth is the 8-1 favorite for a girl. John or Charles, both 10-1 favorites. Now, none of those choices, though, crack the top 10 favorites in North America. The Baby Center has released the most popular baby names of 2012. For girls, the top 5 are Sophia, Emma, Olivia, Isabel, and Ava. For boys, Aiden, Jackson, Ethan, Liam, and Mason. Time now for a look at how the markets kicked off the week.